to adjust this. Hello, and welcome to a video where I discuss the Rise of Skywalker finally, whilst making noodles. Because I have two things to eat in this house. One of them is a pizza, and I don't want to eat a full pizza. And the other one is noodles, because there was a sale, 4 for $5. No, 4 for $4. I don't know. While also listening to the Lightning Thief original Broadway cast recording. Or original cast recording, sorry, not Broadway. So, you may not be able to hear the music, but I can, and it's fun. And we're just gonna talk about the Rise of Skywalker, because I have a lot of feelings, and I've been telling everyone a lot of my feelings, but, every time I try to talk about it, I get really frustrated. So here we go, let's try to talk about it. So The Rise of Skywalker was a movie that happened to the world, and, it sucked, and I'm here to talk about it. I keep feeling like this is not a good angle, but I don't really care. Okay. So The Rise of Skywalker. What to say about that movie? Hated it. That's the main issue. So let's talk about the good first. Let's have a discussion about the good. I didn't prepare for this. The good. Okay, so I can name. Whenever Poe, Rey, and Finn were all just hanging out, that was great. I liked that. It was wholesome. It was nice. I personally really enjoyed that because I like them together. I think that they would have been a great trio had they had 3 movies to hang out like they did in the first trilogy. I think that they could have been a great trio and people would be talking about them a lot more like they did with like Han, Luke, and Leia. That would have been awesome. Unfortunately, that did not happen. This was the only movie that we got to see the 3 of them fully hanging out. That's annoying. I hated this movie so much. Other good thing, Ben finally died. There's a positive for you. That's good. That's literally all I can think of. I can't think of anything else. Charlie from Lost was in it. Mary Brandybuck. Love him. But other than that, I mean, I renewed my love for Star Wars, specifically for Poe Dameron, who I was planning on cosplaying actually a while ago, but I never got around to it, and now I'm definitely planning on cosplaying him, because I love him, and I think he's a great character. I hate what they did to him in this movie, the fact that his backstory was not what the backstory is in the comics, I think, or like in his comic series, or book series, whichever one he has. I did some reading on it. He was actually like born into the rebellion, I believe. But instead they decided to make him a drug dealer. You know, their only Latino character is a drug dealer, which is great. That's awesome. Always awesome. So that was really annoying. So, okay, I guess we could just go, I could just sort of talk about, my issues with the movie. Personally, Star Wars, like, I'm a fan of Star Wars, but I'm not, like, I would die for the series. Like, it has a lot of issues, and I recognize that, and I am just personally a fan of movies, which is why, seeing movies is great, and I was, like, super into the Star Wars fandom, especially when The Force Awakens came out. I was like, yes, a female main character, that's gonna be awesome. And what they did to her, what they did to her and what they did to Finn and Poe, it's just all, it's a lot. So a few things, a few disclaimers. If you liked this movie, good for you. If you like Kylo Ren, good for you. I'm not gonna, judge you for that. I'm not gonna be angry at you, but this is just my opinion. First thing we can talk about, what was it? What was the movie? What was it about? Because what I got from it was, we're gonna erase everything that Rian Johnson did with The Last Jedi, which I know a lot of people hated that movie, but you have to admit, he did some crazy cool things with it. Like, this was going in a direction that I don't think anybody saw it going, and that's why a lot of, the fanboys who are, crazy into Star Wars were like, this movie sucks. My brother is one of them, my younger brother and my older brother, pretty much everyone in my family, did not like The Last Jedi. I personally loved The Last Jedi. I can understand some people not liking Rose, not seeing Rose as a necessary character, and I would agree with that. Didn't really think Rose was necessary, but this is going to be, I guess, my first point. can we all agree that what they did to Kelly Marie Tran was awful? Please. Because here's a woman who has never seen herself in a Star Wars movie, right? Name an Asian main character in a Star Wars movie. Or an Asian, like, side character who has more than one line. Because I'll wait. I'll wait for you to figure that out. I don't even think there's an Asian character in the Star Wars franchise. And then we finally get Kelly Marie Tran to play Rose, who... I get it. Like, oh, shut up. My heat came on. Okay. I get it. You know, like, she was pretty much pointless. She was a love interest for Finn. She was there to make sure that Finn did not die. And she was there as sort of an animal activist. I can understand the frustration that, like, oh, Star Wars is trying to push a political agenda. You know, this is just a movie about space and, like, the fun stuff that you do in space. But, like, let's be honest, Star Wars has always been political. I don't know if you know about the Senate, but it's always been political. I wasn't a fan of Rose. I wasn't a fan of Rose in the first one, but bringing in this character, giving her a main storyline, creating sort of a romance between her and Finn, which I will get into that later, but, you know, that was a central part of the plot in The Last Jedi, and then literally shoving her off to the side with Dominic Monaghan, who has not been in any other Star Wars movie, was suddenly just shoved into this one for who knows why. I don't think we needed him, personally, because it distracted me the entire time, because all I was thinking was not Penny's boat. Okay, like, that's literally all I was thinking about. Also, the Hobbit. Hobbits are evil. I thought he was the spy. He's not, but I thought he was. I just, like, it's frustrating. It frustrated me, because she deserved so much more than that. You can, if you see any red carpet interview with her before the movie came out where she was talking about it, the disappointment and the sadness that's on her face makes me really want to cry. So it annoyed me a lot. That annoyed me a lot. Moving on, because otherwise I'm just gonna start yelling about Rose for 20 minutes. Water takes so long to boil. Okay. What else about this movie? I talked about this a lot with a lot of my coworkers, so, like, they know my I almost started yelling one time, and my boss was like, okay. Whatever you're talking about, you're really passionate. I'm like, I know, it's because it's Star Wars. We'll just do, like, little pieces, because I'm not really gonna go in order, because I haven't seen it since it came out, so I don't really remember everything, but I will talk about, Admiral Hux, General Hux, can't remember, Donald Gleason. He was the spy. Okay? Fine. That's fine. I think we all saw that coming. He wants to screw over Kylo Ren. I understand that. I would too. But the way they revealed it, where he was just like, I'm the spy. It was, like, supposed to be a surprise, but there was no impact. Like, it was thrown and not caught. Like, it just dropped to the ground and nobody caught it and they got a home run. Except nobody got a home run because this movie sucked. So the way they revealed it was just him, he was gonna shoot Chewbacca, Foe and Pin. That's their new names now. And he proceeded to shoot the clones and then be like, I was the spy. And then Poe's like, I knew it. And Finn's like, no, you didn't. That was funny. Comedic relief was there, but I was also so confused because I was like, are we actually supposed to be surprised by this? Because there was no surprise there. Like, sure, I didn't know that he was gonna be the spy, honestly. Like, they were talking about the spy, and I'm like, I don't know. Who cares? But, like, just the way they did it was like, oh, he is? Cool. And then he proceeds to get shot. And there's no payoff. Like, oh, I'm the spy. And then they're like, oh yeah, we knew. And then he's dead. So stupid. It was so stupid. It was so dumb. I hated it. We're boiling now, so I'm gonna pour this in. So yeah, that was really dumb, and I hated it. It was so stupid. So there's that. That was the next subject that we're gonna talk about. What are other things? C-3PO. We know him. We love him. He's been there since the beginning. Literally since the beginning. when he says he would have to have his memory wiped in order to translate the Sith thing, literally everyone is like, okay, well, let's just do it. Let's just do it then. This guy's annoying and I hate him, so let's just do it. Which, they have not had an emotional connection. I understand that. The thing is, the audience, we as the audience, have had an emotional connection with C-3PO because he's literally been there since episode 1, since episode 4. Like, he has been in the entire series. And just, he says that, and then Poe is immediately like, okay, let's do it. Who cares about this dumb robot that nobody else cares about? Which is fine. I went into that movie fully prepared for C-3PO to die, so I was like, okay, yep, that's fine. We're just gonna do it. I'm gonna cry a little bit, and then we're gonna be done. That's fine. So he gets his memory wiped, but before he does that, he says, I'm taking one last look at my friends. Homie, these people were prepared. They were like, okay, let's just wipe your memory because we don't care about you. They don't care. They are not your friends. Your friends are Chewbacca, R2-D2, Luke, who is dead, Leia, who died later, and Han, who is dead. Those are your friends. They are not there. Well, no, I think they thought Chewie was dead. So, yeah, no, literally, like, they're not there. These people are not your friends. Do not say that you are taking one last look around at your friends because they are not your friends. That has been made abundantly clear by Poe specifically. I hated it. I thought it was dumb. That was so stupid. And then it's ultimately pointless because when he gets back to R2-D2, he gets his memories back and he's fine. He's the same old robot. Like, why introduce this emotional heartache and then just have your drive backed up? So stupid. I hated it. I hated that part. And then speaking, I guess, of old characters that we've grown to love, when Leia died, I did not care. And that was probably the saddest thing in the movie, is the fact that I did not care when Leia died. Obviously, I love Carrie Fisher. When she died, I cried a lot, but there was no emotional payoff to Leia's death. At all. Other than when Chewie started crying. When Chewie started crying, I got teary. I think a couple tears fell. That, you know, obviously, because, like, Chewie, we love Chewie, and the fact that he has no one anymore, other than Lando Calrissian, is really, really sad. But, like, oh my goodness. The fact that Leia's last word was Ben. What was the point? What was the point? Just, I did not care. And that sucks. Because I love her. I love Leia. I think she's a great character. But, like, I was just like, whatever. That was dumb. Another thing that is stupid, is another small detail, is, so Lando Calrissian meets this ex-stormtrooper and proceeds to say something that sounds like either he's trying to have sex with her or he's her dad. Either way, I was uncomfortable. It is confirmed in the visual directory or dictionary or whatever it's called that Lando is her father. Why are we not talking about this in the movie? Why is this important fact not considered in the movie? Why do I have to learn about that from something that I would not have read? I wouldn't have read it. I would have just been very confused at the fact that this old man is trying to have sex with this 20-something-year-old? Like, I know that Lando's a player, but homie, you're like 60. Ew. Ew. I do not like. It's Percy Jackson. Whatever! Just another terrible day. A camp path flood where everything's the worst. It's another terrible day. And charge is like you're cursed. So that I am cursed. Wine, but I have thirst. Wait, did you say you're a god? Dionysus? I'm taking a break. Last thing I want to talk about, because, okay, well, I guess next thing I want to talk about, bigger plot point. Palpatine is back. I don't know why. I don't know why we couldn't just be creative and think of a new bad guy, which I think would have made the story a lot more interesting. And the fact that Kylo Ren said that her parents were ordinary. I thought that would have been really interesting, and just like the fact that like this huge, like this super powerful Jedi came from a family of nothing would have been crazy interesting. But instead we decided to make it so that her grandfather was a Sith. I didn't like it. I thought it was dumb. And I know that Palpatine could have survived, I'm aware of that, but it kind of ruins the whole, like, Darth Vader sacrifice thing. I think it kind of adds levity to that and just sort of, like, makes it so that it was sort of pointless, and that's just my opinion. So, you know, I've had a couple people tell me that that's a wrong opinion. Anyway, so yeah, I did not like that. The fact that Kylo and Rey finally kissed, I was like, great, I hate it. The healing powers of the fact that Ben could literally just heal Rey and bring her back to life. If he could do it, why couldn't Anakin? I don't know. Just wondering. Neither of them have had enough training to be able to even think about doing that. And that's just a fact. Last thing I'm going to talk about is the obvious queer baiting. I don't know why we even need to discuss this, because Oscar Isaac and John Boyega have been doing a fine job of it themselves.
Ultimately, they believe in each other, and they're a team, along with Rey. These guys love each other, you know, and the truth is, as a performer, you know, I can only do so much because I don't get to write the scripts, but other than say, I would think that would be a great way for the story to go, and a much more original one. But I think that at least what we can say is that it holds that potential.
But the fact that we introduced Rose as a potential love interest for Finn in The Last Jedi, and then proceeded to bring in this new stormtrooper who could have also been a potential love interest for Finn, and then we bring in Zori, who is a potential love interest for Poe. I'm not a fan. I super love the headcanon that Poe and Zori are just, like, Zori's a lesbian and Poe's gay, and so they, like, just joke around and they're like, you know, let's have sex, ha 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 ha, but really they're both gay. Really love that. I think it was stupid that they just added in these two lesbians who kiss. They're not even named, but they're too scared to do that with Oscar Isaac and John Boyega. I think it's lame. I hate it. I wish Disney weren't cowards. Because now these lesbians enter the world of that one guy from Endgame who was literally a Russo brother. I think a lot of people have talked about this, so I really don't need to. I just, you know, I wanted to make a video about it, like right after I watched the movie, but I never had a chance to, so now I'm just like uploading a rant. I could have written a gay romance better than Star Wars, and I don't even do sci-fi. Like, I can't write sci-fi, but I could have easily written a better story than The Rise of Skywalker, than even that entire trilogy. I could have done better. I am annoyed how they treated Finn's character as someone who literally just runs behind her and yells Rey the entire time. He could have been a great main character, and instead, he's nothing. One last thing that I do want to talk about that I completely forgot about. I'm editing right now, and I just forgot to put it in there. So I'm going to talk about the fact that racism. The fact that racism. I've had time to reflect and edit, and I'm, same day, so look at me, editing. But no, I would just like to say that, Star Wars fans can be kind of racist, and, if you follow John Boyega on Twitter, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But there has been a lot of stuff said to and about John Boyega, given that he is constantly, talking about Reylo and how gross it is. And I don't know, everyone is very opinionated towards that, and a lot of them bring race into it. Whew. Racism is an issue in the Star Wars fandom. I just feel like there's a lot of racism towards John Boyega, and that's not cool. So I needed to put that in there real quick, because that is something I completely glossed over. Okay, I'm gonna watch more Cody Co videos now. Goodbye. I don't know, I'm frustrated by the Rise of Skywalker, but my noodles are done, so I'm gonna be done with this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe. You do you, I can't control your action. So I'm just gonna head out, and I'll see you guys in the next one.